going on, guys? So I'm sitting inside my work truck here. It's a 2006 Silverado 2500. I just got this thing maybe like a week or two ago. Still going through it, making sure that it's ready to get to work. I've already went ahead and done the interior detail with my compadre. We got that done. We cleaned the engine bay. Well, he did the engine bay, gave it a wash, cleaned out the utility bed, and I've already started working on some of the maintenance that it needed. I've replaced the airbag sensor, and right now my fuel gauge doesn't work and my voltage gauge doesn't work. So I'm not gonna go crazy on this thing. I mean, I could send it out and get rebuilt with nice needles and LEDs and whatnot, but it's a work truck. So I'm just gonna replace the stepper motors and call it a day because I need to get it going. In the long run, this thing, being me, it will turn into a show work truck. I do have a lot of plans for it, for this one and for another one. And we have a lot of stuff coming up. So if you're into this kind of stuff, stay tuned. I've been slacking, but I'm going to be uploading here and there. Footage is going to be all over the place just because I have to catch up with myself. I got a build that's all taken apart. I recorded some, then stopped, then recorded again, then stopped. And that's all over the place. I got a SS that has a lot of work done to it, you know, and obviously a lot of that wasn't captured on video, but I'm gonna go through everything, get you guys up to date, and we'll go from there. So mostly everything I have is 9906, well, 2003 to 06. There is a 15 in there is an 08 in there, but those are not my main vehicles, you can say. So I have a thing for GM trucks, specifically 03 to 06. So don't be surprised if you see one go, if you see one come, if you see two come, if you see three. It's just an ongoing thing. So stick around. So here's what I mean. The truck is off, and check out my gas gauge and my voltage gauge. It's a pretty nice cluster, I'm not even gonna lie. I've always liked these clusters from GM, and then the reason that they're so simple to work around. But let's show you what we're talking about. So see, the voltage gauge and the gas gauge didn't move at all. Well, they moved, but not in the right direction. So I'm gonna get this thing removed. Obviously, I'm sure you guys know how to remove these. You just pop the bezel back. Lower the steering wheel, that helps too. Put it up there, and you have access to your 7 mils. I do have a cordless ratchet that I'll be using. It's a snap-on. Nice stuff. So this is the setup I use. I use a magnetic 7 mil with a 1/4 inch swivel, 1/4 inch extension. I do have a 1/4 inch ratchet, but I couldn't find it at the moment, so I just used my adapter on 3/8. It's the same thing. Just take it easy, you know, it's not like you're tightening down or loosening lug nuts. So now that that's all loose, or all the screws are out, we just go ahead and pop this thing out, flip it over, Pick you guys back up, so get this plug back out. And that's it. We have the cluster in our hands. Put this bad boy back in park, take the key out, and let's go disassemble this thing and put it together. All right, so we got the cluster on the table here. So the way that we're going to take this apart, and I'm sure you guys have seen it happen before by other people, but you separate these tabs, then you pretty much, it's a 3-piece item. So this cover, then the center, and then this guy. So we take these off, then the needles come off, so you can take the faceplate off if you'd like, but everything that we're going to be doing is going to be on the back end. So to separate these, I use this flat bladed tool. You can use a screwdriver or something flat to pop these off, but this is a beautiful trim tool from Blue Point. It's a PBFT10. It's nice. It's really flush, or not flush, but very thin, but very sturdy. And I love it. It's one of my favorite tools. Helps me with everything that I do with interior trim and whatnot. So we got that all separated on both sides. And just like that, now you have access to you got this cover off for access to the cluster. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we have these 3 tabs, and I'll show you how easy it is. You just pop it off like this. I really wish I had a tripod, but we'll get one day. So now we just, let me put you down for a All right, we got it separated after some fighting with it. So now we got this off. We'll be able to take the needles off, and I'll show you how I proceed to do that. These are the ones that are not reading right. So this is another trim tool that I like. Obviously, it being plastic, it won't scratch or hurt your faceplate. So this is what I use to remove the needles. Let's try more leverage. Just like that. Now we pop this guy off. And now they're like little retainers, you can say. So we get these clips out. We'll have this faceplate off. Right, so I already got to this stage, the circuit board stage. I already went ahead and marked the ones that I have to replace just so I don't get confused. It's a good idea. Just checking the whole circuit board, make sure that there's no loose solder. I've seen that happen before where either your prindle won't light up or the odometer screen won't light up. So I'm just checking that to see if there's anything obvious. Like I said, I'm not going to get too involved on this cluster because it is for a work truck, but I would like everything to stay functioning. So now the thing that we are going to do is melting the solder and sucking up the solder so we could pull those stepper motors right out. Just replace them back in and put some new dabs on there. I just finished melting the solder and sucking it out. So we got the 4 pins pulled off. And I did mark them on the back as well, just so I didn't get them confused. It's always a good idea. My opinion, it's up to you. But I got the solder out of the hole so I can simply just push it out. And just like that, it's out. So now I did get a replacement. My replacements I got off of Amazon, but they do match. I mean, it's a... So the 168 on the aftermarket one matches this 168 original one. The part numbers don't look the same, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're for. And if not, we'll just take it apart and fix it again. So I just finished soldering the 4 points on each of these stepper motors. It was this one right here and this one right here, and you can tell by the little white trails that it leaves behind. This one I kind of wiped it off with my finger, but by all means they're not going to be, well, it solders like a robot. So I think that looks pretty decent for the work truck that it is. I don't mind. So I'm gonna go, and I'm only gonna be replacing these 2 for now, just because it's super easy to do this stuff anyway. Whatever happens happens. So I'm gonna go outside to the truck and just make sure that I have no burnt out bulbs. It would be nice if I had a pigtail like everyone else, but I don't do this for a living. So I'm gonna go make sure that all my bulbs are good, and yeah, put it together and go from there. All right, so I'm back from testing all these lights, and apparently I do have a bunch of these gone out, but like my turn signal ones, those aren't out. The only ones that are out was like this one here and that one and that one. I'll probably do it later on when I have more time on my hands and I get some quality LEDs on here. But for now, I'm just going to put it together because what I really needed were just these 2 stepper motors to be properly working. And I'm going to go back out there, adjust the needles, and then just put it back in. All right, guys. Well, I got the cluster already put together. So I got them all adjusted where they're supposed to be. And now they're ready to go. I mean, I just got to put down or tighten down the 4 screws. And she's all good. I'll still have to come back and redo the lights sooner or later, but right now, as long as I know how much gas is in there and then my voltage isn't on the battery pointing to the battery, I'm good. So I'm gonna put this back on, or tighten the screws and put the bezel back on, and that's it. That's all we got for this little video for the cluster.